Hey everybody, welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Paper Crafting Saturday. I'm Leslie Watkins. Hi everybody, I hope you're well today. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Northwest Connecticut. It's starting to feel like spring. As many of you know, starting on May the 3rd, we are going to have the new Stampin' Up! Annual catalog go live. And there's a lot of wonderful things in here. I can't show you this until after the 3rd, but I will be having an upcoming show featuring some of the new things from the catalog. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that are retiring that are no longer going to be available. And one of those things is the Shimmery Crystal Effects. And so this is a bottle of sparkly liquid that you can put down on top of a project, let it dry. It takes several hours for it to dry thoroughly because it's thick. It goes on like I don't know, I guess it's a kind of a polymer. I'm not sure exactly. But anyway, it will give your projects a kind of an enamel-like effect. And so I want to do a little bit of experimenting with this today. As I said, it's retiring. It's only going to be available while supplies last. So it's on the what we call the last chance list. If you go to my website at dandelioncottagedesign.com and find the menu that says shop, click on that and it will bring you to my online store where you'll be able to find this. I'm also going to list this under the video here today after I finish doing the live streaming. And I will include a link just for this product if you're interested in experimenting with it. It's a lot of fun and it's something I don't see people using that much, probably because it takes a little bit longer for it to dry and everybody wants everything done in a hurry, but it really makes some very special items. In fact, let me see if I can show you something that I've done with that. I'm going into my goodie bag. Let's see what I can find in here. I think in this case I have an example of something. I haven't used them all up. I made some little birds. Well, here's an example right here. This is probably too small to show you, but I've got a little tab here with a tiny little bee stamped on it. And if you look closely, you'll see it has that wonderful shiny sort of raised enamel effect, and it feels really nice. So that's one example. Here's another one. I made a couple of those. And I thought I had some little birds in here, but I may have used those all up. Anyway, I'm going to make some more. And this time I'm going to make some beautiful little honeybees. So let's get started with that. I'll clear this away. I'm going to be using the big honeybee from the Honeybee Home stamp set. And I'm also going to be using the matching die. And what I have off to the side here are some various pieces of scrap paper. So I've got some basic black, I've got some So Saffron. This is the thick Very Vanilla, and I've got a piece of crushed curry, and I've got a number of different inks. I've got crumb cake, crushed curry, and tuxedo black. So let's begin. I want to try these a couple of different ways so that we can see how they look. So I'm going to begin with, I'll try the crushed curry, and I'm going to use this on my So Saffron. So there's one. Then I'm going to try my crumb cake. And this time I'm going to put it on the very vanilla thick. Oops, that came out. I pressed a little too hard. I have, well, you know what? It's got a little bit of a halo, but I'm going to cut that part off. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. So I'll just put that aside. And now I'm going to switch to my Memento black ink, and first I'm just going to clean the stamp off quickly. I'm going to use this on my crushed curry. There we go. I didn't do a very good job. Let me do that again. That's better. And then finally, I'm going to get out my Versamark ink. And I've got my Gold Emboss powder right here. And I think I'll do this on the crushed curry. Make sure that's well covered. And I'm going to go ahead and do it again on the So Saffron. And finally, I'm going to do it on my basic black. And I'm going to do this twice. Okay. Now put this away. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my heat tool going, and I'm going to mute so that you don't have to listen to the sound of the heat tool. Okay, so here it is. I'm going to mute you. I'm going to turn the sound off. Okay, so that's the heat embossing done, and next I'm going to get out my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to cut these little bees out. So if you'd like to learn more about my online classes and events, please go to dandelioncottagedesign.com and subscribe to Notes from Dandelion Cottage, and I'll be able to notify you of all of the upcoming events that I have. Let me get this set up so you can see what I'm doing. Looks pretty good. Actually, I think I've got you zoomed in too much. Let's come out a little bit. That's better. All right. So with the Honeybee Home stamp set, there's also a bundle available that contains all of these wonderful dies. And with them is this die that will cut out this bee. So this is going to take just a minute for me to cut all these bees out, but maybe what I'll do is I'll just do a couple for now, so you don't have to. I'm sorry if my head is under the camera here, but I've got to get close to see what I'm doing. So there's one. I'll do a black one. That lined up. And let's do this one. This is the gold heat embossing on the So Saffron. Just get this under here so it fits. What I'm doing is I'm just lining up those tiny little legs so I can see them through the die, and I want to make sure that they're as even as I can get them. Okay, maybe we'll do one more. Let's see. Let's do this one. This is the tuxedo black on the crushed curry. And again, I'm just lining up those little legs. Okay, that'll give us a nice assortment to work with. Gonna make sure I put my die back on my magnetic sheet so I don't lose that. I'm gonna zoom you in because this is tiny work. So here are my assortment of honeybees. Okay, so again, this is the, I hope you can see the shine. So there is the heat embossed gold on black, which is very elegant. This is the crumb cake on the very vanilla, black on crushed curry, and then we've got another gold heat embossed on So Saffron. Now I also have nearby, I hope this is the one that's still working. This is a gold pen, and I'm going to use this to add a little bit of gold to, I'm not going to do it to all of them, but I'll do it to the ones that don't have the embossing powder on them. And I'm being careful not to get it not on the inked area because I want that to show. Alright, so we'll give those a couple of seconds to dry. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Shimmery Crystal Effects out. Now, you could use this before you die cut them out, but as I mentioned earlier, it takes a long time to dry, and because this creates a kind of a raised effect, you wouldn't want to pass that through your die cutting machine because it would smush it flat and that would ruin the effect. But also, what I like to do is I like to bring this stuff right to the edge, and so that it makes a cleaner kind of more enamel-like looking edge. And you want to put this on fairly thick but not too thick. Okay, so you may have to practice a little bit before you get it just the way you want it. And I'm going to get my tweezers out because these bees are so little. And you do want to use this on something small. This is not, you know, I mean, I don't want to stifle your creativity, but I think that it would be a little harder to manage with something that was much larger. So I'm going to just get it going. So I'm squeezing it gently, and I'm not squeezing too hard because I don't want too much to come out too soon. And what you want to do is you want to get it going. So get it kind of adhered to your piece, and without lifting the nozzle up, you just want to keep kind of spreading it gently as you're applying some gentle pressure. And you want to be careful that you don't make it too thick, because if it goes on too thick, it's not going to dry evenly, and it may not come out. So you might want to practice a little bit while you do this. And the other thing that's going to happen is that when you first apply the shimmery crystal effects, it's going to look slightly cloudy. All right, it's going to have more of a kind of a translucent quality about it. But once it dries thoroughly, it's going to become crystal clear. And I missed a spot over here. If it looks a little bit wrinkly, don't worry, it's gonna smooth out over time. It just moves very, very slowly. So I'm just checking to see if I missed any places. A couple of spots along the edges. All right, so that looks pretty good. So I'm going to see if I can give you a close-up so that you can see. So I think you can see it's looking a little bit bumpy, but that's okay. That will all flatten out. So that's really all there is to it. Add a dot there, and of course I'll add a little bit more where the tweezer was. So if I just put this down to dry. Just add a tiny bit right there. Okay, so that's basically it. That's the application, and then put it in a safe place where you're not going to bump it, where it has plenty of time to dry. And then what you're going to end up with is a wonderful little embellishment that you can use on your projects. So I have a little box, for instance. So here's a cute little box that is a So Saffron stamped with crushed curry. So I could do this kind of a treatment as an embellishment, and once it's dry, I could adhere it to the top of my box as a little decoration. All right, so that's what I wanted to show you today. Just short and sweet, but I wanted to let you know that in case you hadn't noticed, that the shimmery crystal effects are now on the last chance list. So if you want to try playing with some of this stuff, and it can add a really nice element to your design, I would recommend that you get a bottle or two before they're no longer available. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to be getting back to my honeybee workshop, which is going on right now live, and I'm very excited about it. And if you missed that, not to worry. There's going to be another workshop coming up in another month or so that's going to be on garden journals, and so you might want to sign up for that when you get the announcement. And the way you will get the announcement for that workshop is by subscribing to notes from dandelioncottagedesign.com. And I will also put that link below. So in just a few minutes, there'll be a bunch of links underneath here that you can click on to get to all of these different places. Stay well, stay happy, stay creative, and I will see you next time on Marvelous Monday, right here at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Please like, follow, and do everything you need to do so that you can be notified when I present my live videos. And I will see you next time.